YouTube. So what I'm going to be doing today is trying to fit electric windows to my T5. I bought a kit from these guys off of eBay. I'll just try and show you it. There we go. It says Sesame on the front. It was about, I think I did a deal with them on, you can make an offer on eBay. I think I paid 125 quid. Seen similar kits. Just looking in the kit, let's just see if we can show you. Right, so this is what you get in there. You've got pages and pages of instructions. Then there's all this lot. Look at this. There's loads of wiring. Look at all that lot. Man alive, that is frightening. Then you've got a couple of motors as well, so we'll get those out on the table. And then also what I've already got out comes with these helpful little tools. So you've got a couple of blanking plates there for where the winders are. You've got a little Torx screwdriver, and then a couple of little switch housings for the little switches on both doors. On the floor here is the wiring for all of the motors, and I'm just going to do a quick little run through this. I've actually already spent time wiring all of these up. So they send you these instructions in the box. I'll just glaze over those really quickly, but there's this really helpful wiring diagram which shows the left motor and the right motor, and then where these wires go in relation to each of the switches. Now at first sort of look, this looks really complicated, but it's actually very straightforward. They're all different colours, and it tells you whereabouts they all go. And so if you just spend it took me about 5 minutes just to do them all, so I'll just run through. So you've got the left motor that goes through here. On this particular kit, these are these colour, and it runs through to this switch. I've actually spent time already plugging them all in, but then that will go through to that switch there, and it's all helpfully wrapped up in this sort of cable casing that then runs all the way through along this way, right the way over to the right hand side where you've got the two switches. So you've got the driver's one, and you've also got the passenger's one. And again, I've just sort of taken the time to wire these up, but as per the instructions. And then this one here, which I think is the driver's one, goes all the way down to the right hand motor. And then just splaying off of this, we've got these extra leads. So there's this one here, which is the sort of 12 volt with the lights on, so you connect that to the door. And then you've got the permanent live, which is here, which is with the ignition on, so that's going to go to the ignition barrel somewhere, which has got a 30 amp fuse, blade fuse already prepared in there. And then there's the permanent earth, which is there, which will just sort of go on the car body somewhere, hopefully up near the battery. I think there's enough cable run to do that. I'm out by the van. The first thing we need to do is get this winder handle off. So the way you do this is, I'm just going to use a screwdriver and just push this up here, and there's if I can show you actually on the top, I'll just move it. On the top of the handle, you can see there that it's broken into 1, 2, 3 bits of plastic. And what you want to do is you want to basically push that middle bit of plastic that's just behind the handle, you push that towards these door holes, right, away from the door pocket. So I'll try and just show you that here. There we go. And then that slides straight off, and that's the first one done there. Then the next thing we want to do is there are 4 Torx T20, which is here. This actually came with the kit that I've got, but if you've got a spline set or something like that, or Torx set, there's one basically in here, and then there's also another 3. You can see them there, 1, 2, 3. Now what you can see, this door handle, I've actually got myself a little trim tool, because I don't want to scratch this handle. These can be notorious for snapping, and then you have to buy a new one. There's lots of little plastic bits to sort of hold it in place. So I've got this in here, and then basically what we're going to do is lever this up, pushing the handle up, hopefully not breaking into the clips, just sort of sliding it upwards. And then there's just 2 little screws in there. I'll just see if I can rest this on there. Can you see me there? Let's see how I got on, see if I break it. Okay, get another trim tool just under there. Something snapped, one of the sides, but it should be all right, he says. But there it is, bit of a pig they are, notorious. And then as you can see, there are just 2 little crossheads, one in there and one just in the other side, just there. What we're going to do now, I've taken those screws out, so that's all taken me, what, 5 minutes, not long. And then the thing to do is grab the bottom of the door card, if you can see, and just pull that outwards. Hopefully not too much will come out. You want to make sure you get all the plastic clips coming out. I've got loads of screws that are dropping out the bottom here. I don't know what these are for. We'll soon find out. But you just pull all this off, and then once you've got all the side ones off, what you want to do is basically push. If I tilt this right up there, you can just see the top. Hopefully the foam won't slip. And then you pull it out, push the door card up. There we go. Brilliant. It's like a little briefcase. Check that out. The only things obviously on the back here, there's a little lead to the back of the lock. So we might just need to unattach that. That is, as you can see there, the door card off. I've just popped that. Oh, spinning round, make you all feel sick. Just taking that off there. Now what you'll see is there's a few of these plastic sort of fixings that hold it into the door. There's 2 or 3 that have popped off on my one. So what I now need to do is just quickly get you don't have to do it quickly, I do it quickly because I'm always in a bit of a hurry. But I've got my little trim tool, and then what I'm going to do is, if I can try and show you here, I'm just going to pop that in there. But I will slowly recover those. There we go, got that one back. And then I'll just stick these back in the door card, so later on I can just push it straight on. So the next thing to do is just take off this winder mechanism. There's 1, 2, 3 Torx T20s on there. Brilliant. There we go, so that's come off. And we got that there, so put that to one side. What we've got is we've got the motor here. They're actually handed, but you can't fit them on the wrong side. They're sided. You can see the spline here, which goes on there, and then you're basically fitting the motor towards the front wing, and that just literally that slots right on there. And then in a minute we're going to pop this off and feed the cables through, just through that there. Sorry, this isn't great for camera work, but that's just going to run through here up into there, and we're going to route all the cabling around through the back of the dash. So yeah, but on here there's literally just 1, 2, 3 screws. I'll just do it now. What we're going to do now is we're going to try and take off these end panels here off of the side of the dash. Now the best way to do that, again, I've got a little trim tool. I'm just going to pop that in behind. Oh, see it just come off there. There we go. And we're just going to stick that in the side. Oh, voila. One dropped and probably scratched trim panel. And then as you can see there, look, there's loads of room there to be sticking things in down the side, sorting out the wiring. And we're going to do the same on the driver's side as well. We're in the passenger's floor well. I've taken 2 Torx screws off the underside of this tray, just under the glove box, which has given me access up here to be able to feed through that cable that I showed you. So I've got the passenger side. What I've done, I've fed the cable right through. I popped this off, fed the cable through, then into this door. There's a little rubber grommet that's just here that I popped off the door. And then that just gives you enough to be able to feed the cable round the back through there, and then actually get it through here. And I made another slit in here because there's just a little hole here for the wiring for the speaker cables. And I've basically popped it through here, and I've connected up the motor, which you can see just there. And then I've got these cables here, which when I come to fit the door card, I'll just cable those back up to the switch on this door card. We're working on the driver's side now. You can see I've taken the door card off, and I've done everything that I did on the passenger side, exactly the same. So you can see I've popped the dash trim off there, and then there's basically loads, like when I say loads, I mean loads and loads of screws that you need to take off for the dash trim. They're all in there, you see loads of them. Basically I've just taken off the bottom black tray here, which you can see just here. There's loads of screws in it. Just keep taking them, undoing them until you can see. Actually, if I show you here, there's one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and then there's a couple on the side here. And what I've basically done, you can see I've got that cable underneath there. I've also got that trim off under there still, and I've basically run that cable all the way through there, up round the back of the gear console. If you can just see that, just gone up through there, as you can see that cable running up through there, and then popped out this side up to there, and now that is just going to run through up here, up under there, and I'm going to just pop this through, just pop that through there again, and then connect it to the motor. Obviously when working with the electrics, the first thing you want to do is disconnect the battery, so I've just taken off the earth so nothing goes pop. We're now onto the wiring. I've got a little bit carried away under the dash because I wanted to get as much access as I could to behind where all the wires go, just 'cause it makes it a little bit easier. So we'll have a little look at that now. Still yourselves. Okay, so as you can see, I've taken off most of the bottom trims. Now that looks very, very frightening, I know, but there's actually only a few different bits that come off. So I've taken off that from there, and I've taken off the under grey trim, and I've taken off the one around the steering wheel. As you can see, it gives me loads and loads of places to look and to be able to hook things up to. So what I've done, I'm running the the black earth wire, you can see, which is trailing through, like I showed earlier, through here. So it just comes in through here, and I'm just trailing that up. There's this lovely little one here where I've also got some LEDs that I've stuck on there. It's so I've just literally just taken this bolt off. It's a 10mm, and I'm sticking it on there. That's bare metal, so that's going to be a great earth for the switchable live. What I've done is I've pulled off the back of the light switch. So the light switch is here, and then there's the multi-plug there, and this black, I don't know if you can see it here, there's a black and yellow wire. That is the switchable live. So what I've done, I've now got this wire. I'm going to strip this one down, and then I'm going to connect that in there. That's that, and then all I've got to do then is wire up the permanent live. So I've taken the live feed and also the switchable live feed off the back of the light switch. It's really straightforward. The big thick red cable is the live, and then permanent live, and then the switchable ignition is a black and yellow lead. And if you check this out, ignition on, and then down to the switches light up, which is pretty cool. Window up, window down, and then if I switch the other switch, window up, window down. Now we're going to be working on the door cards, cutting the holes for the switches. So really helpfully, the kit that I've got comes with these. Basically, these are the cutouts. So you just cut it out. It comes all like this on a bit of A4. You just cut it out, cut out the shaded area, and then you've basically got like the double one for the driver's side. So we're going to masking tape this onto the door so we can use this as a template. Then we've got the same for the single on the passenger side. You can see I've got my two door cards. They're all got the templates on them. What I've done is I've basically put them side by side, because then that way I know that the ends are joined up together. So then that way I know that my switches are going to be in a similar place once I come to fit them. And hopefully you can see this. But what I've done, I've masking taped the templates on, and then I've just got a Sharpie marker pen. Got one there, and I've just basically just shaded in the area. So then what I'm going to do now is I'll take off these templates, and hopefully you should be able to see on each one the area that I know I don't want any of that to hang about, because then when I stick that over the top, that's all within that shaded area. So the next job is basically to drill into here, and then I'm going to cut it probably just with a loose hacksaw blade. I'll just cut off what I can. It's only a thin bit of plastic on here, so that'll be no problems at all, and I'll do both of those. Okay, so here we go. 2 lovely switch holes fitted in the door cards. They look really, really good. Nice and straight. As you can see, they're in exactly the same positions. The next challenge, which is going to be a pain, is basically refitting all of this lot on the door cards. Shouldn't take too long. Refitting is a reversal of removal. So it's another day. You might be able to tell I've had a haircut since then. It's literally been a few days, but it's all finished now. The wiring is done. The windows are working. So let's have a little look. Okay, so you can see I've got the van all back together, all the panels. I only had about 4 screws left over, the ignition's on. I'm not sure if you can see it here, but see the light switches, they light up. And look, so we've got windows down, window goes up. And if I use the passengers button, works. And then the same, if I was to lean over, there's a button on the passenger side as well. It's really, really smart, as you can see there from the buttons. They look really good, doesn't look out of place. There's these little blanking plates that come with it. I'm not really happy that they're a different colour than the door, but at some point I'm going to take the doors off and I'm going to sand these down, and then I'm going to spray them with some plastic spray just to darken the interior up, so that light grey is going to become black, and that should really set off the van. But look, it's looking pretty decent now. I've got all the seats in, just need to finish off that door, which you can see there. So just need to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Yeah, very, very happy. So there we go, YouTube, electric windows, done.